case you're wondering what the holidays pack on a flight trip, it's usually some assortment of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, fruit, cheese, snacks. Sometimes we'll take the rental car or the crew car and go out to get lunch, but today I'd like to just get there, so this should tide us over till we get to Norfolk. As usual, the dog is looking a bit distressed because she's wondering whether or not she's coming on this trip. And unfortunately, she's not coming on this trip. We're getting ready to drop her off at her pupcation at the doggy daycare. It's okay, Juju. You're gonna have fun. I also like to make sure we have plenty of water in the cockpit, so this one will be for drinking in flight. And this is a spare, so in case we get stuck somewhere and don't have access to fresh water, or we have to make an emergency landing, we have enough water for the three of us until someone comes to rescue. All right, so we're all loaded up, getting ready to go on our trip. We got a new engine, lots of stuffy toys, of course. Jericho over here, and Alex. And a new friend is riding along today, Little Cow. So we got good VFR today. Moo Cow. Moo Cow. So it should be a good flight. So here we are in Norfolk. We're actually in Virginia Beach right now visiting my mother-in-law. And the flight was fine. We had to make an extra stop though, a bit of a precautionary fuel stop on the way to Florence because we had a tiny bit of engine roughness. We thought might have been carburetor ice, but we fiddled with the mixture control and realized that the mixture is probably set a bit too rich. On that first leg, we burned close to 15 gallons an hour. So we decided to cut it down into 3 legs coming up here instead of 2, which is no big deal. But anyway, we're gonna hang out with Mama for a few days and then try some hang gliding down in Quahog, which I'm super excited about. So we'll see you in a couple days. Hey, so we're here at the Norfolk airport. It's Friday morning and the weather is still IFR out there, but it's forecast to get better in about an hour or 2. So we're just hanging out at the FBO, talking to some other folks. There's another gentleman and his daughter here, also flying a Cessna 172. Actually, his daughter is the same age as ours, and they're heading down to Orlando. So we're just hanging out, having a little fun, and we'll get going as soon as we can. So what do you do while you're waiting for VFR? You get the crew car and you go to the local outlet mall. We met another family here, I think I just mentioned, and so we got in the car with them, and we're just wandering around the outlet mall and waiting for the ceiling to improve, which it should in the next hour or so, but we're in no rush. So she might not like flying airplanes, but she likes being in the air. So we are leaving Norfolk and we filed IFR to Wilmington because it's still a little bit of marginal VFR and not quite worth it going down to first flight today, so that'll have to wait for another trip. So we're just gonna see how far we can get today with Jericho over here. So the weather's pretty good. You can see it's nice VFR here. So we decided to divert to Wallace Pender Airport, which is just a little bit northwest of Wilmington because they have much cheaper fuel and cuter line guys, in my opinion, like Dana. So anyway, we're gonna take a little break and then head to Charleston. Even though we're more limited by weather when traveling in our airplane versus flying on the airlines, the views are just so much better. And it's so nice to be able to just hop in our airplane whenever we want, load up our own snacks, not have to worry about things being 3 ounces or whatever, and just take it at our own pace and have fun together. So we made it to Charleston. We're at the Mount Pleasant Airport. There's our airplane happily parked on the ramp. So pretty good weather this afternoon, no major complaints. We're gonna go have ourselves a nice dinner now, and we're now waiting for Uber. So there's a backstory on why this dinner in Charleston was so cool. This is Mark Neal. He's one of our longtime pilot friends who now lives in the Jacksonville area. This is his brother Ty Neal, who owns a restaurant in Charleston. This is Ty's daughter, Frankie, who's now almost 20, but she was 5 when I first met her. And the story behind why that was so cool is in the book that we wrote, Fly the Airplane. You can check it out on Amazon. Good Saturday morning. We are at the Mount Pleasant Airport. We had a great time last night with our friends and got to meet a really cool Uber driver. His name is Mark, and so he's a local here. Gave us a nice ride to the airport. So we're just pre-flighting the airplane. We've got beautiful weather this morning, so we should be back in Jacksonville by lunchtime. Back home, we're at Craig. We had a great flight. Plane ran good. Still, running a little rich, but the mechanics are going to take a look at it over the next couple days and we'll get it running right as rain. But we're super happy. That was an amazing trip. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of your summer. So I'm here at the Jacksonville International Airport waiting for my flight to Newark. I'm heading up there just for the day to support a friend who recently lost her husband unexpectedly. But as I sit here waiting for my flight, I can't help but think about all of the recent incidents and accidents that I've been observing in the aviation community. And I guess at some point you just have to have faith that the pilots who made their way through the ranks and are now flying this Boeing or whatever it is I'm about to get on know what they're doing, and that my friends up at the control tower are also doing their job. So it's a little bit unnerving, I have to say, as a general aviation pilot, to give up control and get on a plane flown by somebody else that I can't see and will probably never meet. But here we go. Good news. There appears to be a pilot deadheading on this flight a few rows up. Beautiful sunrise. Looks like we'll be departing on runway 8. I haven't packed this light since Dana and I flew the J3 around the country. It's a pretty morning to fly. It's kind of cool knowing that I've landed my airplane here. I've been to the FBO here. This is the international airport where people travel all across the country and all across the world, but I do touch and goes here. Bonus prize, there's an experienced flight attendant sitting in the exit row right in front of me.
Boeing 737 is equipped with 4 exit doors, 2 on each side of the aircraft. If the doors are opened in an emergency, the slides will automatically inflate in a water landing.
One of the best parts of flying out of Jacksonville International is that you almost never have to wait to take off. Ever since I was a little kid, I've loved the window seat. And now as a pilot, I love being able to look out the window and recognize all of this stuff out there. All of the equipment and all the signs. pretty smooth for a jet. Here we are at Newark. Another jet holding in position on to right for takeoff while us and the Allegiant plane cross. Alright, so I made it to Newark. Step number 1. Step number 2 is go find a rental car. So I'm in this rental car now, winding my way through northern New Jersey. My friend's husband was retired NYPD, and they gave him a very nice funeral with a flyover of the NYPD helicopter. Alright, well that was a whirlwind trip, but I successfully made it back to the airport and it looks like my flight is on time. Now it's time to go get some lunch. So I had a pretty good sandwich here at the terminal, and it looks like my flight is on time. There are some thunderstorms starting to develop along the coast, but hopefully these guys can get around them and get me back home on time because I'm tired. I'm normally an early bird, but we woke up about 3:45 this morning. So I think right now I'm about ready for some coffee. So let me go find some coffee and hopefully get home soon.
Jacksonville, Florida, where the local time is 6:53 p.m.
Yay, back home in Jacksonville. That trip honestly could not have gone any better. I'm really glad that I got to go up there and support my friend. And now I can't wait to go home. Here comes my ride. So which is better, flying myself somewhere in my airplane or hopping on an airline flight to get somewhere? I guess it depends. You've probably heard the phrase time to spare, go by air. That's definitely true in general aviation flying because you never know what weather is going to come up or other situations that might delay you. So you always have to be prepared to not go at all or be delayed. But if you have to get somewhere on time, like for example, going to my friend's funeral, that was not going to happen, me flying my airplane. The only way that that was going to be possible was for me to hop on United, and they did a great job, and I'm really happy that I had the opportunity to do that. Thanks for watching.